Hello guys, and welcome to another Diablo 3 Witch Doctor build video for patch 2.3, and this video will be focused on the new Carnevil and Jeram Poison Dart build. At the moment, it seems this build is still the strongest build competitively, with the new Helltooth build doing pretty well to keep up with it. But as usual, the patch is fresh, and as such we must expect things to progress over the coming weeks, with tweaks being made here and there to the build, so make sure to stay tuned as I will be updating the build if any significant changes are made. For now though, let's get into the build I'm currently running, which is able to push the 60 plus greater rifts with relative ease. The first thing you're going to want to do is have the correct items extracted into the new Canized Cube. These items being a Star Metal Cookery, the Mask of Jeram, and a Royal Ring of Grandeur. You will then of course be needing 5 pieces of the Zuni set, in this case being the gloves, the chest, the legs, the boots and the mojo. You will then be needing the Carnevil helm itself and a dagger of darts for your weapon. For your shoulders and braces, you want to be running with the 2-piece Orc Hills. For your waist, you will be wanting a Witching Hour belt, and for your rings, you will want the Focus and Restraint set. For your neck slot, you will ideally be running with a Hellfire Amulet, which is now really easy to farm, so you shouldn't have too many problems obtaining it if you put the work in. Now for the stats you want to have on these items. For the helm, you will want high intellect, vitality and crit chance. For the chest, intellect, vitality and armor. For the legs, intellect, vitality and poison dart damage. For the boots, intellect, vitality, resistance and armor. For the gloves, intellect, vitality, crit damage and crit chance. For the Witching Hour, you will want intellect, attack speed, crit damage and poison dart damage. For your mojo, you will want intellect, vitality, crit chance and ideally elite damage with fetish army damage. You will want fetish army damage over poison dart damage, as it will allow you the freedom to reroll another stat, whilst also making benefit of the new changes to fetish sycophants which now benefit from fetish army damage. For your rings, you will want intellect, crit damage and crit chance with a gem slot. For your amulet, you will want crit chance, crit damage and a gem slot with one of the relevant passives which we will get to shortly. You can run poison damage in favour of intelligence if needed. For your braces, you will want poison damage, intelligence, vitality and crit chance. For your shoulders, you will want intelligence, vitality and fetish army damage, and if possible you can take advantage of the new change to area damage, which can now be triggered by pets, so if you have an armor roll that you can change, consider re-rolling it to area damage. Finally, for your weapon, it's entirely up to you as long as you get the most damage possible out of it. Now for the gems you will be using. You will of course be using yellow gems in your armor, wanting 3 in the chest and 2 in the legs. You can use either a purple or diamond gem in your helm. I personally prefer diamond as I like the snappy cooldown reduction, and you will of course want a green gem in your weapon. As for the legendary gems, we are sticking with Bane of the Trapped and Simplicity Strength, but one of the changes we are making this time around will be opting for the Esoteric Alteration. This is because patch 2.3 has granted us some massive DPS increases, allowing us to climb very high in greater rifts, but offering a lot less in defensive capabilities. So to supplement, we are going to add in some defensive items and abilities to make up for it. Speaking of which, let's move on to the passives. One of the new passives we are going to be running now is Swampland Attunement, which we are taking for its defensive contribution to this high damage build. As for the rest, we are going with a trusted trio of Spirit Vessel, Fetish Sycophants and Graven Justice. We also have Pierce the Veil on our Hellfire Amulet. If you do not have a Hellfire Amulet, then I suggest either dropping Graven Justice or Swampland Attunement, but you will feel the consequences of this if you do so. For our abilities then, we are running Poison Dart with Snake to the Face. Our CC capabilities have been nerfed somewhat this patch, but Snake to the Face is still the best bet over the other runes. Next we are taking Grasp of the Dead with Desperate Grasp. I preference this rune because combined with the cooldown reduction from Graven Justice and a Diamond Gem, you can pretty much spam this ability all over the floor, keeping up the debuff for your Bane of the Trap to remain procced. Next we have Spirit Walk with Jaunt, as ever the staple for our defense, and Piranhas with Piranado. I will say at this point, if you do not have a Hellfire Amulet and thus not running Graven Justice, swap Piranado out for Zombie Piranhas and Grasp of the Dead for Haunt Poison Spirit. Finally, we are of course taking Fetish Army with Legion of Daggers and Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance. For our Paragons, we want to max cap our movement speed at 25%, then dump into intelligence. We want crit chance, crit damage and then attack speed. We then want armor, life and resistance. We of course prioritize resistance last due to being an intellect class. Finally, we want area damage and resource reduction. To play the build effectively, you want to combine the playstyles of the previous Dart build with the SMK Jeram build. This means keeping your range whilst maintaining uptime on your big bad voodoo. We now have 2 added benefits to the new pet system, so the 5 closest fetishes to us now shoot the darts for increased damage, which allows us to not worry so much about the positioning of our pets and also being able to resummon our pets at will due to the SMK cooldown reduction. That's the build so far, guys. As I said at the beginning of the video, I expect small tweaks and changes to be made as we progress over the coming weeks, so make sure to check back for regular updates. I will be uploading a build video for the new Helltooth set in the next couple of days, so if you're not subscribed, consider doing so for more Diablo content coming soon. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and until next time, take care and have fun.